African Gethsemane, the miraculous holy rock of St. Joseph Uranga. St. Joseph Uranga remains one of the historic religious sites for the faithful of the Legion Maria of African Church Mission.
Faithful of Legion Maria of African Church Mission. Here we are at Gethsemane, St. Joseph Uranga, where this precious blood is always celebrated, the 1st of July of every year. What does it mean? We are now joined by Father Charles Kia, the father in charge of the mission, who is going to explain to us what really happened to this particular place. What is it that really happened about the blood that from the rock, a blood that came from the rock, just like a spring or just like an oasis in the desert. Join me till the end. I'm your host, Jeremiah Otieno.
Then go to Janeno, Nikachiki, watching Money Pichano, and Father Lawrence, Alonia,
Legion Maria, so far, is the largest indigenous African religious movement. Uranga is located in Uranga Diocese, formerly part of Boro Diocese. St. Joseph Uranga is undoubtedly equivalent to the biblical Gethsemane, where Jesus Christ's blood covered his face in form of a sweat. Baba Messiah's blood was miraculously shed here. That is why the annual commemoration of the precious blood of Jesus is normally done here. The ceremony is normally conducted on 1st of July every year. In September 1964, Baba Messiah was in the neighboring church St. Michael Ludenda for his routine teaching. It is reported that Baba Messiah, as he normally did in parables, complained to his followers of pain as a result of falling, and it was his mother, Virgin Mary, who saved him. I quote, "I have fallen very hard, and it is my mother that has saved me." None of his followers would comprehend this. Back at St. Joseph Uranga, a man by the name Johannes Foyomba Utuma, who was looking after his livestock within the church compound, is reported to have seen a spring of blood coming out of a rock, just like an oasis in the desert. Uranga is indeed a rocky place, but it was only one rock that was producing the blood. The miraculous blood jetted out vertically about 1 meter up, then maybe because of gravity came down to the ground and flowed for about 2 meters, then mysteriously disappeared. This prompted the church leadership to go seek the interpretation of Baba, who was still at Udenda. They said to themselves, I quote, "Let's go report this to Messiah. He is the only one who can understand this." Surprisingly, when Baba Messiah saw the messenger, he shouted to him, I quote, "Don't utter any word here. I already know what you want to report about." End of quote. On his way to Uranga to go physically witness what had happened, just immediately past Sidok Primary School, approximately 1 kilometer away from St. Joseph Uranga, Baba Messiah is said to have fallen from the bicycle carrier.
Ne Baba wa malo denda. Okano chopo kato ne no riembo ndiga to beti keria mandiga. Koro kano lor kochopo kanyo to nupodho kanyo kama kidi nuniti kama nupodhe. Koro bange emano akanyo kodhi ikanisa ma Uranga.
It is said that this occurred after his bicycle wheel hit a rock that was in the middle of the road. It should be noted and remembered that Baba Messiah preferred bicycle to any other means of transport, as this enabled him to reach out to people in the remote places. Secondly, it did portray him as the humble Messiah who came to elevate the demeaned. Thirdly, this incident occurred before he had a vehicle at his disposal. Back to the accident, something strange happened. Baba Messiah lost his tooth, but not even a strain of blood was seen. What a miraculous Messiah. When he reached the church, St. Joseph Uranga, he prayed at the site where the blood had been seen. To the surprise of the crowd which had followed him, both the converts and the non-converts, he told them, I quote, "Blessed are you whose blood, the blood of the Son of Man, has been shed." The faithful who later learned that the blood was actually his blood. As mentioned earlier, the incident occurred in September 1964. It remains a coincidence that this is the same month in 1984 that he came back to St. Joseph Uranga to consecrate the church building, which had been built where the blood had been seen, as he instructed 20 years earlier. It is again the same month in 1991 that Oulo abandoned his human nature and assumed the godly nature at St. Peter's Manyata in Kisumu. It should be noted that only St. Joseph Uranga, that Baba Messiah himself, consecrated in his entire lifetime in human nature. Father Charles Okia, the father in charge, says it's only Uranga Church that Baba Messiah himself opened in his lifetime did this despite being accompanied by Timotheo Blasio Attila, the then Pope.
So mano mene wan come up with idea matimo knade. Maloso bana mar wak kanisa ni kokadho kumono ba mese ni won bete. And kirango bana ni benti mupuonjwa. Onyiso wani ka onego bed sim manti musapre buodwa. Precious blood rock na makwar.
Roko kup makwar.
Edino korako kup makwar. Kirango yikakai cha kirango cha super makwar. Kirango maite biye en makwar. So puonjwa ni kara samoti musapre buodwa. Kiremo rementi makwar. Ne rock na ni makwar. Mene barwak samo watimo sauno. Gitien won kaka won din en ruodha Yesu Kristo onyisowa korwakre kaka nego betim nane kone bende rwakre moko nego betim matimo sawni to warwako nanga upoke nanga makwar obro ko nanga makwar e motimo go sawno so kwarango pana ni kod weche mang'eny takirango piny kae mine no flow baba no bitiende mine no flow mai kira na this side mam kebe mare wano mudo go kego mai so bana ne puonja gik mang'eny gechine no ka baba kubiro obiro karange makwar piny to bende kubiro orwako kup makwar yeah so mis kala gi mis wan tiere gimoro magimino gich kata kan do wir karange machar anu mene gi sel do wir makwar.
Uncountable miraculous incidents have occurred at the place where Baba Messiah is said to have lost his tooth. However, no single death has been reported from these incidences. The most recent and memorable incidences occurred in 2013 when Siaya Nyadera Road was being constructed. The rock, being in the middle of the road, was earmarked for removal. However, something strange occurred, for the tractors, which had been functional all along from Siaya, mysteriously broke down upon reaching the rock. The attempt by the contractors to either explode or roll the rock all proved futile. It forced them to order for a more powerful excavator. Unfortunately, or fortunately enough, it is this one too strangely broke down. Immediately it touched this miraculous rock. Different powerful tractors were brought to help to either pull or push the broken down tractor, but all failed as they broke down one after the other until the fourth tractor.
Mother Wilfrida Consolata Akoth Odunga. Oh, one day nonga ko budho kamisa. Pate go poko paro so mamisa ka. Gikumoko dwanga tumre kana jali.
Dwa bedo mang'eny ka.
Ajali dwa bedo. Kendo mana ka sakre tata. Nyakaka. Ajali dwa bede kabisa.
Richard Ouma Oundo, Ouma Wonkidi, as is famously known, the custodian of the rock, narrates this broad daylight spectacular event.
Kane gichiegni chopo bute, kane gichiegni chopo kama koro Luanda nuti. Piny ne noyiengore kama tek kabisa. Kora ka awacho ni gino kama oyiengore no mano en. Ma ng'ama ne riembo tinga no nene rik lor, luoro no make kowacho ni ei, kara ka nien kama lich miwuoro, o ka ng'ega ni en gima kama. Luoro no make ne wahoya.
I quote, "A new trick will later be adopted, maybe after a divine intervention. Instead of rolling the rock as earlier intended, the rock was gently moved, just the same way round table of the Blessed Virgin Mary is normally moved by Baba Legion and Mama Legion before and after Presidium and Axio. With this method, the rock strangely moved to its current place, just few meters away from the road where it was initially." That wasn't the end of this spectacular episode. The contractors did another gross mistake. They heaped and covered this historic rock with soil. The locals will therefore mock the church members. They will say, and I quote, "The rock of Legion Maria faithful is no longer visible." They thought the Chinese contractor would spare it. Let their God come and locate the rock. Locals will be heard mocking Legion Maria faithful. As a result, the tractors will mysteriously break down at the very place where the rock had been removed in the middle of the road. It is said that this happened for quite some time until Baba Messiah, as a white man, appeared to one of the Chinese contractors in a vision, directing him to go and cover the rock. I quote, "They just came and told me that Baba Messiah appeared to them in a vision, directing them to go and remove all the sand covering the rock," Mr. Uma would say. Surprisingly enough, when this was done and the rock literally washed, the contractors continued with their operations without any reach thereafter. The rock has been a blessing not only to the Legion Maria faithful, but also to those who come here for prayers and fasting. They report that their prayer requests and petitions to God are always answered after visiting this rock for prayers. Marissa, a Juang, 8-year-old resident, will say, I quote, "Whenever a Mass is celebrated here, we normally experience good rainfall and subsequently good harvest." End of quote. However, a big riddle remains. Where the rock lies currently is another person's parcel of land. This individual happens not to be the Legion Maria faithful. To worsen the situation, the family isn't willing to sell this parcel to the church, nor does it accept requests that a small building be erected here.
It would be a very great idea if this parcel of land can be acquired and developed, as it contains a very great history for our great church. This video has been done mainly to spread the gospel, just like Baba Messiah did instruct us to do. It is therefore a question and a challenge to each and every one of us. What are you doing to spread the gospel so that you qualify to get what God, the Creator, did promise us as His followers? Thank you for viewing. Thank you for being with us. For the Mikas Media Group, I was your host and narrator, Jeremiah Otieno. Till another day, for another video, bye-bye. May you be blessed once again.